How's it going? Today I'm gonna make an arrangement in front of you of a bossa nova. This is a very interesting bossa nova to begin with because it's simple. It's not a large music, and the chords are not so difficult also. So it's interesting for you to begin. But if you wanna see a more complete bossa nova using a lot of different resources, I've done a video yesterday that I'm showing in details how to play a bossa nova and use different textures and the different resources to play and improvise. So let's begin, and I invite you to follow my channel as Luciano Ruas _ Brazilian pianist in YouTube, that you can search for the videos you want, alright? Let's go. I'm gonna work on the song Tarde de Itapoã. This is a song by Toquinho and Vinicius de Moraes. And I'm gonna show you the sheet, the score, and we are gonna work on this song. The song is starting by the melody, but it has one introduction that they are playing G minor with the augmented fifth, and G minor with sixth. Some people prefer to call the second chord the minor with augmented fifth of E flat with G on bass, but I think it's more easier to understand its function when we call it another G minor, right? To create this James Bond progression, alright? This is the introduction, and we can explore it in different ways. We can create some arpeggios, or we can use the bossa nova rhythm. Note that I'm always repeating the bass. There are two ways of expressing bossa nova at the piano that I consider two visions that I like to use both. For example, you are using the beat and the groove of João Gilberto that repeats the root note or the inversion note of the chord, or there is some possibility that you imitate the bass and you create the motion between the fifth and the root and the fifth of the chord, or another chord note also. So I'm gonna, depending on the part, I'm gonna explore these different beats that I call the guitar texture versus the bass texture, alright? So let's read the melody. Let me repeat one more octave lower. This is the first part of the song, very simple. I'm gonna explore this texture. there that is an important thing about the bossa nova beat, that you can play the anticipations of the melody together with it. So for example, note I'm doing besides doing, I'm anticipating the higher part of C7 before the note C came to the chord. In the last 16th note I'm doing the chord. In this case we can anticipate together with the melody. It sounds interesting when you do this. So now I'm gonna use the bass with the fifth. In the triad chord I used to put the ninth to give. We have a G minor in the third measure. I put so let's start playing. Anticipation. So this was the texture that I'm using in this first part. That mixtures the left hand, in the left hand the bass with the chord. I'm using the root and the fifth in the last three fingers, and in these two fingers I'm playing the seventh and the root, the third of the chord. If the chord is a triad, I can use the third and fifth of the chord. If you don't have seventh but you have sixth, you can use the sixth besides the seventh. All right. So let's do in this texture. I'm gonna now explore another texture using the right hand to do the chords and melody and the left hand to do the bass part. So I'm gonna read the repeat, trying to explore this possibility. So I have to put in my right hand the beat of bossa nova, so continue, and after that I put the bass. Sorry. when I use two-hand voicing, I start to explore some harmonic possibilities. For example, I'm creating a harmonic passage between the A7 and D minor, making a half step movement to E flat, starting from E flat 7 to D minor. So, this is more complicated to memorize, but let's do. Note that in the first measure, I use the bass line, and after that I went to the So let's study what I've done before. In this G7 with 13th, I put a progression that's very typical on bossa nova. It's chord with 13th, flat 13th, and going to C minor. In this chord of A minor 7, half diminished, A half diminished, I put the 4th or the 11th. That sounds very interesting, and I can put the 9th. And this D7 I've transformed on the don't dim scale. I've put the sharp 11. So, alright, so we have some textures here. To start. Sound like and so we go to this harder. executing perfectly, but I'm having the ideas. I'm organizing the ideas. So when I return, I can work on the execution. All right. So this is the possibility of using the left hand to do bass and harmony, and the right hand just the melody. All right. Let's try to explore some other textures. All right. What with just octave? Alright, no problem. It sounds very good. Sounds more, you are hearing this with more clarity than the first part, so it's very interesting. And this is a thing that we it's recommended to do in chorus, to give more emphasis to the chorus, and or to sound more brighter. But let's explore another possibilities also. Rootless chords with the octave in the right hand. Let's see if we have more possibilities on the. Very low. One very interesting point. Sometimes you find the root note of the tonality with a major 7th chord with the root on the melody, root on the melody, root on the harmony. This is correct here, but it's common to find in this chord G with 6th. Sometimes it's written G major 7 and you have the root on the melody. And it's very important when you see this situation, you put the 6th besides the 7th. It's gonna sound more clear because it's not gonna form half step with the melody and the chord. Alright, this is very interesting and important in bossa nova arrangements. Alright, so what we're gonna do in the chorus. Note that I am not I always when I have to play and I don't have this chance of rehearsing, It's normal I choose the most easy texture, but when this is not the case, I have time to practice the arrangement. I try to explore the different ones to improve my capability of playing some non-obvious textures. All right, so that's why I'm trying to. Let me try to create some alternation between bass and chords to get to leave the obvious. It's sounding very interesting. Make some conclusion with chords mixturing with the rootless voicing, the melody with the rootless voicing, and so I go to a lower part where I So after having decided the different textures apply in each different part of the arrangement, I'm gonna start to study, review and study the difficult ones. There are some that are not obvious to do in the first try. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm sorry. Now I'm starting to explore some notes more in this arpeggio, and I want to do this. Tango or another thing, or another kind of Latin music. It's not typical in bossa nova. Just let me play one more time. So, where did we started before? Just let me remind where we start. Okay, now let's study the second texture. So second time. This work is very important because I'm putting the bossa nova groove inside the different melodic situations. Sometimes we just play with one hand, and it's important that we practice to put the maximum we can of the real groove inside our play. Alright? So if you have doubts in what I'm doing, just write in the comments. I'm gonna send you a more detailed process. Alright, I'm gonna show you just one measure or something that's easier to understand. difficult part is the repetition. Second ending. So you keep practicing all these details that you're gonna make the beat of bossa nova sound in the whole arrangement. All right. So I want you here, but if you wanna see me doing resolving these problems, just write in the comments. All right. I'm gonna have pleasure to help you in the important parts, in the necessary parts, because I realize that many people think it's just hearing and imitating they were gonna play bossa nova, but I think for we Brazilians it's a little complicated to make it sounds inside the language. I think for foreigners it's more difficult because some of the values of this song are not written in any score and probably you won't see won't have any recommendation of a musician, a Brazilian musician. So I hope you have enjoyed. I'm gonna play one time the whole song, trying to do as the possibility of playing in this first try and the first tries, and if you wanna see more, just write me, alright? So we go here. Let me correct this bass. I'm losing my pedal. It's walking here. I'm sorry. It's bothering me. I'm sorry. have enjoyed, and this is just for opening your mind in relationship with the bossa nova. It's just to you understand how it works, what sounds right, and it's obvious that you have to practice the arrangement, to have the resource and play them well. Alright, but I hope I have helped you. Write in the comments and leave your questions also, alright? So see you tomorrow for more lives about the Brazilian accent improvisation. Bye bye.